Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about games, games in your guitar classes. So it's really good to, I'm a firm believer in focusing on skills so that we can play songs better. Because just focusing on songs is great, that is good for some people. But I've found for longevity, if you can improve people's skills, it's kind of like sharpening your saw. When you're cutting down the tree, you can just keep hacking at the tree and eventually you'll get it. But if you focus on the skills, it helps you play the songs better. So improving picking speed, understanding the scales, chord changes, etc., etc., listening skills. And if you slowly improve those whilst learning songs at the same time, I think it's like rocket fuel for your learning, especially if you really dive deep into the skills. When you come to play songs, it'll just be so much easier. You'll understand what you're playing, blah, blah, blah. But not everyone wants to just do skills and drills. You're not going to be an army sergeant, just like drilling people all day. Some people are okay with that. Some people want the pain, but a lot of students just come and they just want a chilled out atmosphere, and they're just learning for fun and enjoyment. They're not necessarily as driven as you to learn the guitar and teach one day and perform. So a few game ideas that have worked really well for me. So it's guess the. Okay, so I play guess the chord, guess the scale, guess the note, all these types of things, and you can have different levels of difficulty. So the first one is, say like, I don't know, you've got some young kids and they've learnt the E minor open bottom 3 strings, something like that, and maybe the G bottom 3 strings, 3rd fret, 1st string type thing. And you've taught them all these little 3-string chords, maybe 3 or 4. All you need to do is just say, okay kids, so I do a little theme song. I just play a couple of chords and just say, let's play guess the chord, do 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 do, guess the chord, do 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 do, and they just really love the routine of hearing the theme tune. Just make your own little theme song and just make some simple lyrics to it, but they really enjoy it. I do that as an intro and an outro, and so when they need to guess the chord, all you need to do is just turn around and just play the chord once, and then they can play it on their guitar and try and match up the sounds with their ears and while playing it. And you give them a few chances. Don't say they're right straight away, just let them all guess first if you're in a group, and then see if they get it right. And then you can just write some points on the board. So I've got a little points board there. I just put the letter of their name and just give them a point, and they absolutely love it. And you can just do this for 5-10 minutes, makes it super fun for them. So you do that with the chords. You can, if they're learning the scale, if they know a few scales, then you could say, is this major or minor? You could keep it more broad like that, so they won't need to know the exact one, but then you can increase the difficulty. Same with the chords, increase the difficulty without playing on the guitar. That's for the more intermediate advanced students, but for beginners, they can just try and play the chords and try and match the sounds. So that's really fun, they enjoy that. What else can you do? So guess the note. So you can play a note. So if you want to keep it simple, you just say, I'm going to play a note on the 1st string, the E string, and you're going to have to try and guess and match the note with your guitar. So you could just play the 5th fret or something, or the open string, and see if they can guess and match the note there. And if they get it wrong, that's fine. Just move on to the next one and keep, and you can make it simpler and simpler. You can just say, I'm just going to play either the 0, the 1st fret, 2nd fret, or 3rd fret, if they're really young. But as they get older, they're actually able to do it quite well. And then you can do 2 strings, 3 strings, 4 strings, 5 strings, 6 strings, make it harder and harder. And then to add difficulty, you can say, what note is it? And they have to tell you what note as well. And then they can do it, try and get them to do it without them playing the note as well, and say, that's an A. You could say to them, I'm only going to do the natural notes. I'm only going to be playing A, B, or C, or something like that, and see if they can guess. But they only get one guess. So that's a lot of ear training games that have really, really helped. helped our students learn. And it just breaks the lesson up. If you're doing a 1 hour class and you start with a warm up and you do a skill, having a game in the middle is really, really, really fun. Then another game is try and play, say like you're playing a riff or a lick or something like that, try and play it 3 times in a row without making a mistake, and try and get them to all play at the same time, or 10 in a row, 5 in a row, whatever in a row you can do. Another one is, say like you're just doing a simple exercise and they're trying to get to 100 beats per minute or 120, whatever it is, even if it's a song. Say like it's the first bar. I don't know, we were doing Sunshine of Your Love with someone and it's do 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 do. And we started, she just couldn't get to the speed, I think it's 116 or something like that. So we just started at 60 and she's like, oh, I can do it there. That's 65 and then 70, and just keep edging up the metronome until they hit their breaking point. And another great trick with the metronome is you just say, oh, I'm just increasing it by 5 beats per minute. So let's say they did 60 really easy, 65 easy, 70 easy. Jump it up to 90 and just say, yeah, we're doing 75 now. And then jump it from 90, and as long as they can do it, and it still looks like they're doing okay. And then I literally just went from 90 to 116 and she was able to do it, which was brilliant. Obviously for the younger kids, maybe just jump it up in little bits. So metronome game, that's really fun. Another great game is for rhythm. So turning the guitar over. So just using the back of the guitar. I just say we're putting it into drum mode, push a button, and we've got the drum there, and then you can match the rhythm. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, they have to match it. And then they all get a go to choose a rhythm, and as long as they can repeat it and not make it too complicated, that's fine. So that's really good. Then if you can do the same with the front of the guitar, just doing open strings, muted strings, sorry. And if that's okay for them, then you can do 1 chord, whatever rhythm they choose, and then make it harder by doing 2 chords. Or whatever it is. And then there's lots of versatility there that you can do, just by adding more chords, more complex rhythms, and then getting everyone to have a go. So that's a really fun game. So there's just a few ideas. I'm sure hopefully that's getting the cogs turning for you. And but you can just research games as well. Sometimes I just make them up as I go along, just depending on what we've been doing, and I just try and set little targets and little games. But if you want to do some research, YouTube is obviously a great asset, and just looking at some different blogs for schools. You could even do little games like who can get the guitar out the fastest, or who can pack away the fastest. 'Cause sometimes the kids, they're just hanging around for ages and they're not packing up. They're just not doing it, and they're just chatting. And then I just say, who can do it the fastest? Another good thing is a little point system. So if they've been really good, if they're not shouting out all the time, I don't mind if people talking a little bit, but if they're just talking throughout the whole lesson, then I would give points or take away points depending on how they're behaving. So that's not necessarily a game, but it's just a little thing to keep people in check. That's all the ideas I have to share right now. But yeah, hopefully that's got some cogs turning for you. Literally having just 5-6 games in the locker and just doing them every time, because just think they come to you for half an hour, 1 hour every week. So that's 1 hour of their whole week. That's like 1/100th of the week or whatever. I don't know how small amount that is, but 24 times 7, that's like such a small part of their week. So even if you do the same game every few weeks, they'll like it. They'll like the routine of it, and just playing guess the chord or guess the note is enough, to be honest, to keep them tied along, and it's really good for their ear training. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. I will see you guys in the next video, and hope you're staying blessed, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.